So you guys are familiar with this type of linear equations, right? Y is equal to, thank you, Maggie. Thank you so much. So let's, okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole lesson for this. I'm just going to be very tell you, we already know how to graph this. So you guys know this is what this M stand for? Slope. And B stand for? Y-intercept. So we already know this. So this is the Y value of the graph. If we graph this, we know this is the graph of a function with two variables, right? X and Y. X and Y are the variables. So the same thing can be given like this as well, right? Where A, B and C are any real numbers. So for an example, so I'm going to say example number 1, graph y is equal to -1/2 x plus 2. So this is, by looking at this is a function. Y is the function value. I'm going to talk about function big time in chapter 2.2, right? For now, we know this is one variable value, this is the other variable value. These two are the variables. Y value is called Y value is depending on the X value when we graph the Y value, right? So this is the depending value and this is the, we can pick any X's, right? Independent value. So this is the dependent value. Y value is depending on X. This is independent value. That means we can pick any X values. We can pick any X values. X value is independent of whatever. We can pick any X values. Y value is the one is depending on the X values, right? So in here, so one of the, when we get the graph, the equation of two variable in this form, we know this value is considered to be what? This value is considered to be M here. This is the B. So we know M is equal to here -1/2 and B is equal to 2. And we know how to graph this, right? Slope in the, using the slope and the y-intercept. So what do? We go to, so this is one way to graph. Everybody should know how to graph this. What do? Go to y-intercept first. Y-intercept is 2 here, 1, 2. Here's the y-intercept. And then slope is, what is slope means? Slope is rise over run, right? Slope is -1/2. So this is rise and this value is run. So we know rise is negative when it's going down, rise is positive when it's going, when it's negative, rise is going down. When it's positive, this is when it's negative, this is positive, rise is going up. Run is going this way for positive value, run is going this way for negative value. You know that, right? So starting from here, we are going to pick the values. This is 0, 2, and then we go, how many down? 1 down and 2 to the right, 1, 2 to the right. So we have this point, and then again we want to get another point, 1 down and 2 to the right. So we have this point, right? We can also go the opposite way. Everybody know that, right? That means we go 1 up and 2 to the left. The opposite way of going down is up, and opposite way going right is left. So this is the other point. Now we have these points on the coordinate plane. What do? We draw the line. So this is the equation of the line of two variable y is equal to -1/2 x plus 2. This is, I usually go like a big lesson for this if it's beginning algebra. I'm just doing a very brief description of how to graph this. This is big review, okay? So anytime you get an equation like this, you can graph using slope and intercept. Example number 2, how about if you get an equation like this, -3x minus 1/2 y is equal to 4. Now this is given in this form. You see that? Equation can give this form. This form is called what? What is this form called?
Slope intercept.
Slope intercept form. This form is called the slope intercept form, and this is called the standard form. Very good. So we have the standard form and the slope intercept form. So anytime you can give either way. You can give in slope intercept form or equation in standard form. The good thing is when we get the standard form, every time we can convert to slope intercept form and then graph using the slope intercept form. Or you can use the standard form to graph as well. Okay. So here, one way to do this is you can just find the x-intercept, y-intercept and graph. That's one way to do it, right? Or you can create a table of ordered pair. You guys remember that? So there's 3 ways of graphing. One way is using the table of ordered pair, and the other way is using the x-intercept and y-intercept, and the third way is to use the slope intercept form. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get rid of the fraction here and make it equal to. So let's get rid of fractions here. What do you get? We know how to get. Multiply by 2, -6x, multiply by 2 become -1y, y is equal to 8. Everything multiplied by 2 to get rid of the fraction. So solve for y, we get -y is equal to negative, become positive 6x plus 8. Correct, class? We need to solve for y. What do you do now? Divide by -1. Y is equal to -6x, -8. Now at this point, we can use the slope intercept form, or you can use the x-intercept and y. So because we already did one with the slope intercept form, I'm just going to find x-intercept, y-intercept and graph. Okay. So how do you find the x-intercept? What is the x-intercept? Every time we have an equation like this, how do you find the x-intercept? We talked about this before. X-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. When the graph is crossing the x-axis, what do we know? Y is equal to 0 at the x-intercept. We are going to make y is equal to 0. So find the x-intercept. 0 is equal to -6x minus 8, solve for x. Positive 6x is equal to 8, -8. I move to this side, divide both sides by 6. What is x equal to? So you will get fractions a lot of time. So reduce that. 4/3. 4/3 negative. So x is equal to -1 and 1/3. This is the x-intercept. So x-intercept is, the way we write the x-intercept is, x is -1 and 1/3, and the y value is what? 0. So this is the x-intercept. So it's not x equal to this. X-intercept is this. This is an ordered pair x-intercept, right? Okay, so now we need to find the what? Y-intercept. Find the y-intercept. Y-intercept. How will you find the y-intercept, class? What is y-intercept means? When the graph is crossing where the graph is crossing the y-axis. It can touch too. When we do curves, it's going to touch. It can also touch, so it touches or crosses the y-axis, where the graph. So at the y-intercept, when the graph is crossing the y-axis, at the y-intercept, what do you know about the x-coordinate? X-coordinate is equal to, we can make x to be equal to 0. We know this. That's how we find the y-intercept. Okay? So x is, so it's not telling you when you're doing a problem to find the y-intercept, x-intercept, will the problem tell you to make x equal to 0 for y-intercept and y is it's not going to tell you. You have to know that. Okay? So what is so you go to the equation, negative y is equal to 6 times 0 plus 8. Huh?
That's the same thing.
That's the same thing. Yeah. So what is y equal to? Negative 8. Right? Now we could have substituted the xy value here also. Okay, I just made it easier to, whenever we have fraction equations with fractions, just get rid of the fractions so it's easy to see it like this. If I convert this into standard form, this is negative y plus negative 6x is equal to 8, right? This is the standard form. So we know how to convert anything given to standard form, right? You can write like, okay, now what do we have here? What's the y-intercept? 0, comma, negative 8. So now all you have to do is use the x-intercept and y-intercept of the coordinate plane of this line and draw the line. X-intercept 1 to negative 1 and 1/3. Negative 1 here, negative 2 here, negative 1 and 1/3 is somewhere here. That's the x-intercept. Y-intercept 0, negative 8, somewhere here. 0, negative 8, this is negative 8, the y-intercept. So now we can draw the line going through this. Yeah. Okay, so this is the line passing through this exit. So if we do, when we do this, this is also done. Okay. Yeah. The other way to graph is method 3 of graphing. So I'm going to do another example real fast. Example number 3, graph. Now this is given to you. This is given to you. Now, this is the standard form, right? Standard form is, and if you are asked to graph using a table of ordered pair, so graph using or creating. Sometimes on my test I will have this direction, create not the other two ways, graph only creating a table of ordered pair. Okay? I think you guys should be very familiar with this. Graph creating or using what? A table of ordered pair. Okay, so let's do this real fast. Okay, so here, so we are given 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 6. So if, when we are using a table of ordered pair, I know you guys already know this, but I want you to still pay attention to the way I want. Use, a lot of times in most of the books they have 2 columns, but I would prefer if you do 3 columns, right? And this is the x column, and here you can write y is equal to whatever the y number, y belongs to, and this is the ordered pairs that you are creating, okay? So look at this and solve this to y. I'm telling, I have a reason why I'm saying this. So, solve for y, what do you get? Negative 3y is equal to negative 2x. Is that right? How will you solve for y now? Always solve for y. What do you need to do now? Negative 3, divide everything by negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, and you get y is equal to 2/3 x, negative, negative, positive 2, correct? Okay class, so this is the y value. This is the value that we are going to write here. This means the same as this, that's why I have this if and only. This means this means this. So now I'm going to write 2/3 x plus 2. Now I'm going to pick, x is the depending value, correct? I can pick any x here. And based on x, my y value is changing. So now the question is, if you are not given, in this class, you are not given a graphing calculator. Okay? So if you are not given a graphing calculator, you don't want on the coordinate plane, you don't want your numbers to be, your ordered pairs to be like decimal numbers or fractions, right? So if you pick x equal to 1, you get a fraction. You see that? If you pick x equal to 2, you get a fraction. So you have to be creative. How will you get rid of your fraction? How will you avoid fractions here? What number you're supposed to pick x? 3. You can pick 3, you can pick 6. So the advantage of by writing the equation in this way all the time, you can get rid of the fractions of the ordered pairs, x values. You have to do that, okay? If you do the other way, if you look at this and pick any x values and find the y value, here you will get some cases you don't know how to get rid, not have fractions. Are you guys clear with that? Okay, so you can pick any x that has multiples of 3. Any x, because then we can reduce this, right? So we are going to pick negative, pick a one negative number. Always pick what? 0, and then pick
3.
positive 3. Okay, now we evaluate the y value real fast here. 2/3 times negative 3 plus 2 gives us what? This is negative 1, negative 2, and positive 2 is 0. What is the y value here? Positive 2, so 0 and positive 2, this is the other y value when x is 0. What's the y value here? 2/3 times 3 plus 2 will give us, what do you give, what is it? 4, right? Right? Alright, so x is 3 and 4. You guys familiar with this? Everybody know this. So now we know the 3 points, all we have to do is graph. So anytime given linear equations with fractions, decimals, whatever it is, we know how to get rid of it and convert to what we want and use the 3 methods that we know how to graph. Okay? So now I just have to locate the 3 ordered pairs. So what are the 3 ordered pairs? Negative 3 and 0 is 1. The other one is 0 and 2. The other one is positive 3 and 4. So, draw the line passing through this. Okay? Everybody clear? Okay. Alright. Okay guys, so we are done with that, and so we know how to graph a given equation. And you guys know how to find the slope too, right? Find the slope of a line passing through 2 points.
Yes.
Right? So let's also review slope. So I'm just going to talk about few things because this you have done it many times. Slope is the steepness of the line. Slope can be given. Slope can be given in how many ways? You can get slope like this, climbing up. Get slope like this, or you can get slope this, right? A line slope like this. Slope is the steepness of the line. Also, what's the other case we have? This is case 2. What's the other case we can have? What's the other case we can have? Elizabeth?
Vertical?
Vertical line, very good. So the case we can have a vertical line like this. What's the other case? Horizontal line, very good. So we have all these 4 cases of slope. Now slope is, we consider slope when we're going from left to right. Okay? When you're going from x values increasing. X values are increasing, what happened to y values here? Increasing when we call is positive slope. Okay? It's like climbing a hill. We are walking towards right. X value is increasing, y value is increasing. That's it. X value is increasing here, y value is decreasing. This is negative slope. M is negative. What's the slope on a horizontal line?
Oh, horizontal.
This is a horizontal line. I'm walking. What's the slope? Very good. This is 0 slope. Slope is equal to 0. That means m is equal to 0. This is m, a negative number. M is a positive number. What's the slope in this line? M is on. There's no slope because if it's a vertical line, can we walk? In order, whenever you have a slope, you can walk, you can run, you can, right? You can slide, right? So all this. So here we cannot walk here and what. So we say this no slope. Okay? No slope. Okay guys, so now these are the 4 cases of slope you will see. Slope formula. Anybody remember the slope formula?
Y equals mx plus.
Slope formula is what? Y, m is equal to, m is the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Everybody must know this formula. That means you need to memorize. Every time slope is this. So this is a slope formula. A line passing through, if the line passing through x1 comma y1, this is 1 point, and x2 comma y2, these 2 points. If a line is passing through these 2 points, to find the slope we do this. So if you have a line passing through x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, this is the slope. How to find the slope of a line. Okay? Okay, now real fast, find the example. Find the equation of a line slope of a line passing through I'm going to give 3 problems here. This is passing through. First one is 4, 0 and negative 5 and 0. Let's make this 8. Okay. Second one is 3, 2, negative 3, 2 and this is n and negative 3, 5. Third one is 4 and 7, negative 7 and 6 and negative 5. Negative 6 and negative 5. So all these 3 cases, what do you need to do? Find slope. These are 3 different problems. Find the slope. So always you're going to start with m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what is your first case? x1, y1, x2, y2. What is your y2 here? Negative 5 minus y1, 8. Follow the formula. x2 is, sorry, y2, excuse me, y2 is, what am I doing? 8 minus 8. x2 is negative 5 minus 4. You simplify this. What is it? 0 over negative 9. What is 0 divided by negative 9? 0. So this case, if you box this is not right. Okay? Because we can simplify this. You guys should know in this class, 0 divided any number is 0. So m is equal to 0 here. Slope is 0. For this problem, answer is m is equal to, slope is equal to, m is equal to 0. That's the only answer. Not anything else is not right. No partial credit, anything else for these little things you have to know. Okay? Okay, case 2b. What is m equal to? Well, m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is y2?
5 minus 2.
5 minus 2 over
Negative 3 minus
negative 3 minus
plus
negative 3. So simplify this. 5 minus 2 over is 3. Negative, negative become positive. What's the denominator going to be?
0.
0.
So no stop.
So whenever number divided by 0, it is
Undefined.
undefined. So you need to write undefined. This means this. If it's undefined means you don't say slope is undefined. Just say no slope. You know it's a vertical line situation. So what's the slope here? No slope. Some book says undefined, but I want you to say no slope. There's no slope on a vertical line. Okay? You can also, if you also graph this, you can see this is a vertical line. But if you ask to find the slope algebraically, graphically you can graph those 2 points. Algebraically then you have to do this. Okay? Okay, third case. m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus. See, I always start with the formula. All my problems, even though it's repeating, I always write the formula. Formula is what you need to write first. Okay? So don't start without the formula. Write the formula and then substitute the numbers. So to make it very, very precise that you don't make a mistake, you can label your point here. You see what I mean? Right? Okay, class, what values do I substitute here? Negative 5 minus negative 7 over negative 6 minus 4. So this become positive 2 over negative 10, negative 1/5. So this is slope is a negative value. So everybody know how to find the slope of a line, correct? Okay, what do you know about if there's, we also have parallel lines and
Perpendicular.
intersecting lines, right? Some intersecting lines slopes are not equal. Parallel line slopes are the same. All parallel lines have the same slope. Intersecting lines has different slope. But if it's perpendicular, two lines are perpendicular, what do you know about their slopes? If two lines are perpendicular, what do you know about their slopes?
They're the reciprocal
They are the reciprocal,
and negative. Negative.
yeah, reciprocal of each other, negative reciprocal of each other, right? Or you can say m1 times m2 is equal to negative 1. So if you know m1, you can solve for m2, right? You guys know about parallel lines, and the slopes of parallel lines, slopes are perpendicular line. So note here, I'm kind of rushing this because we have to get going soon to the next chapter. Parallel lines, slopes of parallel lines are the same parallel lines. So if the two lines are parallel like this, M1, M2, M1 is equal to M2. Correct? Two lines are parallel, M1 is equal to M2. Perpendicular lines are intersecting lines, slopes are not the same. So let me write this as intersecting line, perpendicular line. Perpendicular lines, so when we have perpendicular means two lines crossing each other at what degree?
90 degrees.
90 degree. So if this is M1, if this one is M2, and we know M1 times M2 is equal to negative 1. This is the relationship between slopes of a, what line? Perpendicular line. So if you know M1, substitute the value of M1 and solve for M2. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so that's basically what you have to know how to graph. Now, I'm also going to give this as a note, graph special lines. You guys know this, but I'm going to mention it again. Graph special lines. Like if you have y is equal to a number, whatever number, or x is equal to whatever number, some number. Graph this line or this line. Example, graph x is equal to negative 3 and y is equal to 4. Graph these two. How will you graph these two lines?
-3, 0, and 0, 4.
What is x equal to negative 3 line? This is a line, guys. On the coordinate plane, now this is a line. This is not a point. This is a line. These are lines on the coordinate plane. Okay? X equal to negative 3. So you go 1, 2, 3. This is negative 3. X equal to negative 3 is a line that goes through negative 3. So this is x equal to negative 3 line. Okay? And y is equal to 4 line. It is a line positive y is equal to 4 line. The y's, all the y lines are horizontal line, x lines are vertical line. So we know here, note this. What is this value? X equal to 1 line. This one, x equal to 2, right? This one, x equal to,
Negative.
this one, x equal to, oh, excuse me, yeah, y.
Okay, I was like,
I'm
oh,
sorry.
this guy.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of, okay. So this one, let's say this is going through -6. What is it? Y is equal to negative. So you get to see the pattern here, correct? Okay, likewise, we also know on the coordinate plane what is exactly this line. X equal to -1. So here x equal to -3. Here x equal to +1, correct? Here x equal to +4, you know, so this, how this lines goes, okay? So anytime you get something x equal to on the coordinate plane, it's a line, okay? Now, the last thing we need to know is given find the equation of a line given some info of the line. So far what we did is graph the line. Now find the equation of the line and then graph the line. You only get some info of the line. Okay? So for an example, you get example number 1. Find the equation of the line. With m is equal to -1/2 and passing through passing through 0 and 3. We know 0 and 3 is the y-intercept, correct? Right? So this is m, this is y-intercept. So all you have to do is y is equal to mx plus b. Y is equal to m is -1/2, x plus b is 3 here. So this is the equation of the line with this given information. Or some will say passing through the y-intercept, you will give the y-intercept exactly. Okay? So if the case 2, if the y-intercept is not given, let's say you are given a problem like this, example number 2, m is given to be -2/3 and passing through, all these are, find the equation, okay? Passing through -2 and 1, this point. So how will you do this? Now you can do, there's 2 ways to do this. You can do y is equal to mx plus b, you can use this. Y is equal to, this is the y value now. Anytime line is passing through a given point, that point should satisfy the line. That means you can use that point for the x values and y value of the line. So this is the line in general equation, in general. So if this point is passing through this line, so this point should satisfy this line. Therefore we can say what? Y value is 1 and x value is -2 and solve for m here. No, we are not solving for y. We need to find the equation of a line. Oh yeah, we are actually solving for y-intercept here. Before m we are using this one, right? Very good, thank you. So y is equal to -2 is equal to m is -2/3 times x is 1. This is the x value, this is the y value.
So wouldn't it be 1?
1 equals
So
Yeah,
negative
wouldn't it be
2.
one equal?
X is 2, correct?
Yeah, so wouldn't it be 1 equal?
Y is 1 and x is 2,
Minus.
negative 2 plus b. So now solve this. 1 is equal to positive 4 over 3 plus b. We need to solve for b. We can find the least common denominator. 3 is equal to 4 plus 3b. Just multiply everything by 3. We know that. Okay? Or you can subtract here also. Either way. So we know this. So 3 minus 4 is equal to 3b. What is b equal to? Negative 1 over 3. That's b. So now what do you do? Plug it in. Plug it in. What's the y value here? b is this. So we know b is negative 1/3. M is negative 2/3. So all you have to do is y is equal to mx plus b. So y is equal to m is negative 2/3 x plus b is negative 1/3. So you can leave the answer like this, or if you want to convert this into standard form, you can convert this into standard form as well. Right, class? How will you convert this into standard form? Multiply everything by 3. What do you get? 3y is equal to negative 2x minus 1.
Then
3y plus 2x is equal to negative 1. This is the standard form. So if you are doing a multiple choice problem and you need to find the equation of the line, and in the answers, instead of this answer, you are given only this answer, you should know to convert this answer to this answer. Right? Okay guys, so that's case 2 example. Case 3 example. Now case 2 example, every time you given the equation of a line, find the equation of a line passing through a given point and a slope is also given. You can also use the point slope formula. So the book is showing you to use the point slope. You can do this way or you can do this way. This is another method. Method 2 for this case. Okay? Point slope formula. So what's the point slope formula? Y minus y1 is equal to slope times x minus x1. So everybody should memorize the point slope formula. So here I'm just going to do the same problem using the point slope formula. What do I get? y1 is 1 equals slope is x, okay, so variable minus x1 is, so just solve this. Y minus 1 is equal to negative 2/3 x, negative positive inside 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 3. Agree? Alright. So now let's solve for y, get rid of the everything multiplied by 3. Right? So what do you get? 3y minus 3 equal negative 2x minus 4. 3y plus 2x is equal to negative 1. Isolate this is the word sloping. Okay, so always you can use this anytime for case 2. If a point is given where the line is passing through and the slope is given. Okay, now the last case is how about this case 3, example number 3 here. Find the equation of the line passing through -2 and 1 and 3 and -5 passing through this point. Is the slope given? No. So what do you need to do in order to find the equation of a line? What do you need to do? What do you need to do? You need to have the strategy, right? Where we can't go anywhere unless we find the slope of the line. The other two, the slope was given to us, so it's much easier. This one, the slope is not given to us, but we are still good because we know how to find the slope. So we're going to say m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you are telling the reader we are finding the slope first, and this is how we find it, the slope. Okay, substitute. Negative y is, what's the y value? So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Y value is -5, y2 value minus 1 over 3 minus 2, very good. 3 minus -2, correct? Alright, so we get -6 over 5. You reduce this. We can't reduce it, we can leave the slope like this. So now we know the slope, you know one point, you can pick any point. This is going to be the case 2 problem, what we did. So you can use either way to find the equation of the line. So I'm just going to say equation of the line. In order to find the equation of the line, I'm going to use y minus y1 is equal to slope times x minus x1. So y minus y1, pick any point. First point, y minus 1 is equal to m is -6 over 5 times x minus x1 is -2. Y minus 1 is equal to -6x over 5, negative positive 2, -12 over 5, multiply everything by 5, 5i minus 5 is equal to -6x minus 12, 5i plus 6x is equal to, at 5, -7. So this is like the fastest way I think you can find the equation of a line by using the what? Point slope formula. Okay, class? Okay, so you can do the other way, first way also. Okay. Now the other thing, the last case you will see the problems where you're going to find the equation of the line parallel to a given line, or find the equation of a line parallel to another given, not parallel, perpendicular to another given line. So example number 4. Oh my gosh, I did the whole thing. I was not planning to do this, but let's find the equation of, so this is what example? Example number 4. This is of finding the equation of a line. Before we were graphing, equation is given, we are graphing the line. And we know 3 methods of how to graph any given equation of the line. And now we know we are finding equation of a line given some information of a line. We are only given some information. So the last way they can test you on this is find the equation of a line passing through. So passing through a given point, -2 and 5, and parallel to negative 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 6. So that line is, this is given. This is the given line. But the two lines are what? If the two lines are like this is line 1, this is line 2. Line 1 and line 2 are what? Line 1 is parallel to line 2. This sign means parallel. Then we know the slope 1 and slope 2 are the, so M1 is the same as M2. When the lines are parallel, we know this. So if we can find the equation of this slope of this line, do we know the slope of the line that we need to find here? So we go to this line and find the slope of that line. How will you find the slope of that line? How do you find the slope of this line? What do you need to do? In order to find the slope of a line given in the, what form is this? Standard form. We need to write this in slope-intercept form. So write this in slope-intercept form. 2x minus 6. Divide both sides by 3. Cancel. Y is equal to 2/3 x minus 2. What's the slope from here? 2/3. So y is equal to 2/3. Excuse me, slope is equal to 2/3. Correct? So by looking at this, we know how to find the slope. See, they're making the problem more challenging, more challenging, more challenging. What if this is not given, something else is given? Okay? But we have to know the strategy to find the slope. Okay? But also we should know that the two lines are parallel according to this, then the slopes are the same. So now we can find the equation of the line that we are supposed to find. What's the equation of the line? Equation of the line. Equation of the line that we are supposed to do. We know m is equal to 2/3 and the line is passing through what? Passing through negative 2 and 5. So all we have to do is use that. So the case 4 became case 2 problem again. After you find the slope. You guys following this? Okay. So we write y minus y1 is equal to n times x minus x1. And sorry guys, I'm doing this, I'm rushing because this is review. Okay, if it's a normal lesson, I would. For some of you guys, I know this is boring still, because you have seen this many times, right? But I'm spending a lot of time for review because some of you guys have not seen this. This I'm not supposed to do this whole thing for this class, but I'm doing it. 5 is equal to m is 2/3 x minus, what is x1? Negative 2. So y minus 5 is equal to 2/3 x plus, this is going to be plus 4/3.
Yes.
Multiply everything with 3y minus 50 is equal to 2x plus 4. 3y minus 2x is equal to 90. Right? That's the equation of a line that we need to find. Now I'm not going to do this problem. I will quickly do one thing. Instead of parallel to, so example number 5, I'm going to say find the equation of a line perpendicular, passing through this and perpendicular. Perpendicular to this line. So that means two lines are perpendicular. So one line is going this way. If the one line is going this way, other line is going this way. So these two lines are perpendicular. This is M1, M2. What do you know of M1 and M2? So you take the product of these. This is negative 1. or if you know M1, M2 is the negative reciprocal of M1. So what is M1 here? We already said M1 is 2/3, right? So 2/3 times M2 is equal to -1. Multiply everything by 3. 2M2 is equal to -3. What is M2? -3/2. You see M1 and M2 are the negative reciprocal of each other. So if you take the reciprocal of this and take the opposite sign, that's M2. Okay, so now to find the equation of a line passing through, what's the slope here? Because we are doing this problem now. What's the slope? And you can pick the same point, that's the same point. Okay? So now what we need to do here is the same thing. We only need to substitute the slope different. I'm doing this same problem because I don't want to use a lot of time, but you will get this as a different problem. Same scenario. Okay? So what do I have to do here? -2/3, 3/2. Y minus 5 is equal to -3/2 x. This is plus, and it's going to be -6 half.
What is -3?
So that's -3, and multiply everything by 2, we get y minus 5 is equal to -3/2, excuse me, multiply everything by 2, correct? 2y minus 10 equal to -3x minus 6, 2y plus 3x is equal to 4. Are we good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's the equation of a line we need to find. Now if you ask to graph this also, and you know how to graph it using VD3 method. Okay guys, I basically, in Math 115, this is like 1 week of class discussion. I did it in like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, okay? So I did each one, I did an example. I started with basic formula of two variables, the way it can be given, right? Either way it is given, we know how to graph using the 3 methods. We know exactly what is x-intercept means, exactly what is y-intercept means. Also we know exactly what is slope means. We also know there are 4 ways of slopes can be given. We also know how to find an equation of any line given some information. Information can be given in 4 different ways. In this case actually 5 different ways if you take this as example number 5. Right? It can get little harder, but no big deal. We know how to do it. Okay? So all these you must know. Okay? Alright.